Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts. I'm Big Ron Partlow. We got Dusty Hanshaw, the producer Scott McNally. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Of course, IamMutant.com, Born Hardcore. Go to IamMutant.com, get your ISO surge, get your all in, and everyone should get on the gear. Dusty 20, Big Ron 20, get your 20% off. Okay, everyone loved Jose and Flex from like 10 years ago.
How can you not?
We're doing another one from 2014, aren't we?
Yes,
we
are.
We've got James Hollingshead, I believe.
Yeah, yes. Iron Asylum over at RX.
Asylum. Oh, man. So what show is he getting ready for here? What's going on?
He's not even a pro yet. British Super Heavyweight Championship.
Amazing.
Oh, champion. So this is right when he turned pro then?
No, because I think he
had to win the overall.
He had to win the overall.
Oh, Super Heavyweight Champion. Okay, gotcha. So I guess we're probably not going to get into some really heavy stuff since this is just like post-contest. This is just like for the video, let's get James on. You know what I mean? You can still see the tan on him. Yeah, he said 4 days post-show. I mean, yeah. He doesn't even have like the terrible-looking skin yet from it. Yeah, right? Oh, maybe a little bit on the back of his hand there. There we go. Good to see. Good to see. It is bonkers. I mean, not that you shouldn't know this, but like how much bigger he is now. Oh, yeah. Like insanity. Insanity. The arms alone, you're like, how is he so much bigger? So this would have been, he didn't even start 2014. I don't know he would have. I was thinking of the Size Game podcast. Him and Luke. Oh, yeah. And Banji. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had the Size Game podcast, and that's how I got to know him, listening to that show. Yeah. Let's see if we can. It sounds like they had a lot of loud music playing here.
As was Sass Harati, who was second in the heavyweight class. When you saw those guys dropping down, did you figure you had a good chance of winning that super heavyweight?
I went into this with the mind state of I'm against Nathan Sylvester, so I was battling to fight Nathan anyway. He's a friend of mine. I know his physique because he was one of my inspirations when I was younger. So I was prepared, and I would have given it my all against anyone. But I was very happy that he did drop a weight category. Sass, either way, here or there, I don't know what my physique would be like next to his because I haven't had it next to his yet. But Nathan was the best man on the day, and I was happy that I at least got to stand in the overall next to him.
Now, how old are you?
25.
Okay, because you said when you were coming up, Nathan was your inspiration. Nathan hasn't been around that long either. He's a young guy as well, but you're younger, obviously.
Yes. Nathan was a junior Mr. Britain holder 2 years before I won my junior Mr. Britain as well. So he was the predecessor. He was the man that I looked to and thought I need to follow him. Yeah. So it's really good.
Next on the list, so to speak. Now it seems like there's a pretty standard way of getting your pro card or going through the ranks in Great Britain. Basically, you win the juniors, and then you go on to win the British Nationals. Kind of what Flex Lewis did. Everyone seems to take that same road. There's no other way to get your pro card, pretty much in England, right?
Yeah, we're really limited because obviously we only have one national contest. Which is held once yearly, so you literally got to grind yourself, grind as hard as you can and peak for that show.
You pull the shirt off here.
Obviously, it's only once a year, so you want to try and improve on your placings from year to year.
Yeah, he really was.
It's hard to go from being a junior straight to an open class winner as quick as you can. But it's definitely the way that it goes. You can win the junior, which shows you've got dedication. You can win an open class, which shows you've got consistency. And then if you can win the overall, it shows that you really did put your work in and you were in it for the long run. So it's the natural way of doing things. But like I say, one show, so you have to really work your ass off and give it your all over the years.
Why do you think?
So it looks like it's definitely not like we were saying a hard workout here. We just got some cables going.
Yeah, and Dave's like interviewing him over top.
Yeah, that's the way those old in the Iron Asylums were,
Yeah, I don't remember them all being that way.
No? Yeah. Dave would like do a call with people afterward, and then they would overlay the audio interview over him training, That's actually, though, I like the way they catch it up for Americans because, to think back, in 2014, we had 3 pro cards at the North Americans for bodybuilding.
we had 3 or 5 pro cards at the USA's, and then we had 2 pro cards per class at nationals.
Yeah.
So they have at the same time, literally the same year, and I know that because I got one of them in 2014. They had 1 pro card, and if you miss, see you next year.
Yeah, and it was so James won the supers, and Nathan Diash was the overall champion in 2014.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at the list right now, and then
Sasan took
Sass won it
second
in 2015. Luke won it in 2016, and then James got the overall in 2017.
Okay.
So
that
he's
makes
several years away from being a pro here.
That makes sense, because I thought 2014 seemed a little bit early for him to have already gotten his pro card.
Yeah.
And look how much we know what he looks like today. He looked great there, but look how far he's come since then, you know?
Yeah, just so much size.
Yeah.
I think it's cool too, though, because of that. Oftentimes in the States, people would be saying like, well, who else is doing the show? And you're like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, you had no idea. I mean, you just knew you had to prepare yourself. Whereas there, sure, there's people they don't know who might be sneaking in, but not really. I mean, they had to qualify. So you kind of would know who your competition is going all the way in, from the guys who were already ahead of you to the guys who are coming up from behind you. I mean, you should have a pretty solid idea over there who you need to beat to win the whole thing.
Which is kind of cool, you know? As a competitor, it's nice to be able to put a face to. I always liked that. Even if I knew I wasn't going to run into somebody I've competed against, I'd tell myself, like, well, this person might show up again, you know? And I know that if I'm going to, you know, I kind of visualize that and use it as a positive way to help me push harder. They literally, as you're pointing out, Dusty, they knew who was coming.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Plus, I think it's cool because those guys were and still are all friends. Yeah. You know, they drove each other to be better, and I think that's the thing that gets missed in bodybuilding. There is no defense, so all you should do is use the knowledge of these other guys coming in as fuel to be your best. Right. And then once you're at the show, let the judges do their job. Yeah, you don't got to worry about it.
Wonder if Dave's still talking here.
Shorter time frame, and I'm someone that's more about, you know, progression and graft. And if it takes you about a year to 2 years to get really good at being a men's physique guy, then it's not really a long-term goal. Whereas bodybuilding, you're not going to be as good as you want to be ever. And that's why it's so much more interesting, because there is no end goal. You're going to keep going until you're the best you can be. And there's no cap on it. You don't put a cap on it. You just want to continue improving. Whereas, like, say, 2 years down the line of training as a physique guy, you pretty much peak. You're at your best. You're not allowed to put on no more muscle because you'll be too big for the class. So where do you go from there? You've got to go bodybuilding, haven't you? You've got to go bodybuilding.
What would you say?
I just love the accent.
The UK is more.
Oh yeah.
Where are you going to go from there? Yeah, nowhere to go, don't you? You know.
To be fair, because I've been to a few shows lately, and you know, sometimes the crowd is really going for the bodybuilding, sometimes the crowd's going for the men's physique. But from ticket sales, I'd say the men's physique. You know, the British finals, majority of tickets sold there is probably for the men's physique.
Wow.
And like you say,
really?
Yeah, and it's like you say, the pro cards are easier to get. They give a pro card to a men's physique guy there, and they'll give a pro card to a men's physique guy at pretty much every amateur show, you know, that's done in Spain or Ohio. They earn more pro cards than the bodybuilders, definitely. So, you know, people
this
know
would have
that
been before Classic?
It's a good stepping stone, especially if they're thinking business-wise. You know, they want to be a professional at something. That's a good thing to have attached to your resume. So, yeah, definitely. You know, if you're an IFBB pro, it doesn't sound too bad on your CV, does it? So,
sure.
Definitely.
Now, let's fantasize for a minute. Let's say you turn pro next year. What would in your mind? I know we all think about this at some point when we're competing. What would be the ultimate pro show for you to start with? Like, if you had to get your pro card, what would you like to debut? Where would you like to debut your pro status at?
So debut, I think you've got to go out there and you've got to test the waters. I don't think it's much good standing here and doing the British Grand Prix if it comes about, because I think you're not really putting yourself in the pond. With the big fish, you know, you're just playing around. And to be fair, when I've seen the British Grand Prix here, it's good. They are great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as depth for your lineup as what you will be having to face if you go to international wars. So it's about going to America, isn't it, or one of the Canadian shows, any of them shows. To be fair, that where the lineup is a bit depthier, you need to really know where you stand. There's no point. You want to be a good bodybuilder. Why are you not going to test yourself? So
I agree.
Yeah, go in there, get your feet wet. And I think I would love to do, any of the shows, to be fair. And then hopefully, the long term, you want to do something like the Arnold and you want to do the Olympia. So you don't really want to stop. There's no there's no end to it.
I just knew it.
Keep striving.
That none of these thoughts have changed either.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To know that he went on to do both of those shows.
Yeah.
I sent you a couple of videos that are from my Instagram story that I had with James talking about his trophies.
Okay.
Kind of applicable, so we could throw one up if you want.
Then I've got these titles.
These will always mean a lot, man.
Yeah.
You show us the plaque.
Yeah, then we've got the plaque as well. So the plaque is obviously, this is previous British champions from yesteryear. Obviously, you've got 1988 Dorian Yates. Ian Harrison.
Wow, Ian Harrison.
Gary Sheldon, Eddie Elwood.
JD Dawood, too.
JD, Big JD. Amory Francis.
Yeah.
Ian Wadley.
Ernie Taylor, I met.
Sean Davis.
I met. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Sean.
Yeah.
Eddie Abu, everyone's favourite on TikTok. Grant Thomas. Pete Brown. Mike King. Mark Harris. Ricky Welling, who's actually blind.
Oh, no way.
Great bodybuilder.
Wow.
He won the overall. Carl Tierney. Paul George, great bodybuilder. He was actually a middleweight. And he was crazy peeled.
No way.
Paul Delahaye. Troy Brown.
My old friend Troy. There you go, Troy.
He lives in Canada now, doesn't he?
Yeah, you bet. Flex Lewis?
I don't know who Flex Lewis is.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't think he's done much in bodybuilding.
Don't think he's done much in bodybuilding. That was great.
James Webb, great. He looked great that year.
Zach.
Alvin Small. Our friend Cecil Crosdale. And obviously Anth Bales. You've seen him on the walls in the gym. Ricardo Correa, good friend of ours. There's Nathan Yasha, my nemesis. Defeated me in 2014 and took the pro card.
Oh, crap.
This.
Just talking about that. Just watching that.
And me. It's quite a cool little group, that last little group, isn't it?
Man, oh
Boys.
man.
So, this is our little present from Anth Bales.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, did Anth give you this?
He had it made for us because it's a copy of the original. Because the original stopped. They stopped doing. They seem to stop like here. So me and Luke, our name didn't get put on the old one because it didn't have any room.
Right.
So he made one. And
So Anth had one made for him
British
so that
Championship.
him and Luke would both be.
So it was like, it was really cool.
That's
So
cool.
this is the new
Awesome.
one.
Very cool.
That's quite the club.
and-
That's quite the club. That's
And I
why
know the
those
audio's
British
not
titles
great
mean
on
a
that.
lot
The
because
very
this
first
is the
name
club,
was
man.
Dorian.
Absolutely.
You know?
1988.
So,
I mean, look where it starts.
89.
you see Dorian on there, like,
Dorian's
yeah.
first name.
Yeah, man.
That's freaking
Yeah.
cool, man.
So it's just a really cool gift that Anth gave him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool because it just ties in with him being on that long list of British champions.
Yeah. See, he's still training triceps here through this. I'm going to jump forward a little bit. And you guys, I'll put the link in, of course, to RX. You guys can watch this. Looks like that was close to the end of the interview there, so they just filled it in with music at the end.
Terrible music.
Yeah.
It's funny to see James at this. I wonder what he weighs here.
Yeah.
Is he like 220?
Well, he's a heavyweight, so he's got to be.
I think he was super. Wasn't it? Did it say super?
Oh, was super?
so
Yeah, so he'd be 225 and up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
The muscle maturity is also a wacky thing. Like, you see James looking like granite for so long that you can't imagine that there was ever I would imagine he was born looking like granite, sandpaper, and concrete.
I mean, he looks great, but man, he's put size on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy smokes!
It'd be
His
great to
front
see
to
him.
back thickness now is so out of control. Like,
Oh yeah. No,
It's
we
two of
didn't.
him.
We didn't preview this. We just saw it was an old video. I was hoping we were going to see him really get down. You know what I mean? And see him train hard at this point. Obviously, post show, we're not going to see that, but it turned out to be a cool story anyway.
absolutely. I'm glad we did it. Anything with James is welcome on It's Just Bodybuilding, that's for sure.
Right?
I just can't believe the size difference. You forget.
For all you kids out there that feel like you'll never get there, this is James Hollingshead. Probably his first big video for a US-based
Well, I remember how
website.
it was like a big deal to do an Iron Asylum episode, have Dave Palumbo call you up and
Oh, yeah.
and get featured. Because, I mean, 2014, there wasn't, I mean, we were all watching these, oh, there's a new Iron Asylum up. Like, it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I almost forgot
training footage.
I almost forgot the interview style that he did. But Dave was really ahead of his time. He'd been doing these for some time. I think a bunch of them got lost when they moved from MD to RX. But he had everybody like Juan Morel and everybody from the New York scene, was on there.
Yeah. I remember I did an episode of Iron Asylum, and I didn't even remember the format.
Oh, man, no kidding. I wish we could find that one. I'm going to dig. And guys at home, if you can find that, any other good Iron Asylums, let me know.
I remember because I went to the North Americans, and I did pretty, I did pretty well, right? So, I remember Dave was like, oh, we got to get you on Iron Asylum. So I remember sending footage of I believe it was a back workout. I transferred footage to him through Dropbox or whatever you used back in the day. Like some old school way of sending someone a big file.
Yeah.
Right.
You download it off an actual camera, off a small card. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
And then he calls you up and puts the audio over top of it.
Look at that shot.
That's funny.
At the end of us saying how much bigger he is, he looks like a tank again. Never mind.
Yeah. That was cool. That was really cool. Oh, wait. Let me see. No, that was about it. I was going to see if he peeled down. That was it, though.
Oh, man. Good memories. Funny, I forgot about that. I forgot about those. You know what I mean?
I can hear your brain going back in time right now.
Yeah, and I'm remembering all the other ones I watched.
There were so many good ones.
Yeah.
That's how old we are.
And every time a show would roll around, there'd be a new blast of Iron Asylums.
Yeah, and Dave was always good, like you said, of getting amateur guys, up and comers, and like James here, catching him at the start of his career.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
And I saw James's trophies when I was at the gym, and I knew, but I just forgot that he won the supers twice.
Yeah.
Before he got his card, because he didn't win the overall the first time. Nathan Diash won the heavyweights and took the overall.
Right.
And then, so it was damn,
Yeah.
Missed out.
You know that feeling.
Yeah. And then it was a couple years. It was and then he had to watch a few more guys win. Sass took the overall, and then Luke took the overall. And then he finally got another crack at it. Yeah.
I feel like once Luke got his pro card, I feel like that was a big driver for him. I really do. Because they're good friends and everything. And I feel like that was okay, I got to do this now,
Yeah, the very next year. And for those who can't get enough James, remember that currently our episode of Mutant on a Mission, where I go to JP and the Shed to see that gym, that's currently the one that's up on Mutant's channel right now. So if you want to watch that, you can check out him and JP's gym. It was a lot of fun. We do a back workout, and James does a little bit of his philosophical.
Nice.
He drops those the way he is. He drops stuff throughout the episode. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
He talks about his training mentality and how it's changed a bit, and how he thinks of things now, and running the business and all that sort of stuff. So it was really fun to go see. And obviously he showed us all the cool stuff in the gym. Anth gave him that really cool plaque, and he talks about they got a big mural of Luke painted on the wall, and how he's got the cardio facing it because he wants everyone doing their cardio to see Luke and be inspired by Luke, and just all these cool things that he showed me in the gym. So that's a really fun episode. So if you guys want to go check that out,
I'll put it in the link too in the description. So you guys just scroll down, look for that.
And don't worry, the audio on the episode's better. That was just a clip off my phone.
Right.
That wasn't from the episode. So yeah. Okay. So remember, everybody, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
And remember, IamMutant.com. Go to IamMutant.com. Get your ice surge. You're all in, and everyone should get on the gear. Thanks for everybody for watching this. And remember, it's just bodybuilding reacts.